Welcome everyone. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for Midweek Connect. I'm Rachel. I'm one of the pastors here, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining us from wherever you are. This is just a quick time to connect halfway through the week. If you're watching live with us, please feel free to join the chat in the comments. We've got pastors here to connect with you, pray with you, and answer any questions you might have. Lastly, we'd love it if you would share this video with your friends and family. It's a great way to invite people to experience the love and grace of Jesus and this awesome online community. Next, we'll have a short time of worship, and then Scott Treadway has a special guest I think you'll really enjoy.
You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, it's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. You give life, make his face shine upon, be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon, and be gracious to you. Lord turn his face toward you and give you Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon, and be gracious to you. Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Welcome to Midweek Connect, where we have guests who are leading the community in so many important ways join us, and we're happy that you're here with us. We're also happy to have Kim Gerrish here. She is the executive director of Michelle's Place, an organization that's been here for 19 years, serving patients that are battling and recovering from cancer, and such an incredibly important opportunity that you give people who are struggling, really experiencing some of life's worst moments. You're wrapping love around them and care and support, so thank you very much. Tell us about what Michelle's Place has been doing for 19 years.
Oh my goodness. Well, I've had the pleasure to serve our mission for 17 years. So I've been there a very long time, seeing the path and been a part of it, which again, so blessed to be a part of that. It's been a lot. Rapid growth, unfortunately, the need is there, and the community has embraced us. We're the region's only cancer resource center. So what that means, we're providing direct service, right, to cancer patients. And so at the center, we provide services, support groups, we have a lending library, bras, prosthesis if you've had a mastectomy, wigs if you've lost your hair to chemo. We're an official wig bank of the American Cancer Society, so for any reason you needed a wig, we were the place to go. A variety of resources. Really, it's just a safe place, as you mentioned. We just want to wrap our arms around you and just be there, because that's pretty much the biggest resource we provide, right? Someone comes into us, you don't need an appointment. You just come in, I have cancer, I don't know what to do. And that's a lot of people's story, right? I mean, doctors just don't have the time to sit with you and answer all your questions. You don't even know the questions to ask your doctor. So you walk out of there with a diagnosis of cancer and you just are lost and numb and scared and all these emotions and things going through your head. A lot of people go straight to Google, which is the worst doctor in the world.
Exactly.
And so we highly recommend not going there. It's
So you
the scariest
avoiding
place.
it altogether.
Yeah,
Okay.
just avoid it for right now, especially when you're first diagnosed, because it's terrifying.
It is.
The top things that pop up are statistics on surviving cancer or your kind of cancer. So don't go there. Come here. Come to Michelle's Place.
I had a little bit of experience. I was diagnosed with melanoma about 7 years ago, and went right online, and it was horrifying.
It's terrifying. It's no good news.
Yeah,
Nothing.
right.
It's all bad.
So you recommend don't do it all together.
Yeah,
okay?
just wait a minute.
Come to Michelle's Place, and then you'll get some good, reasoned, caring information.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
So you walk in, and we're mostly run by volunteers at the center, and they're not all survivors, but they're just loving people, and they'll just walk you through it, give you a little tour of the center, show you the resources we have. Because again, most people who come to us have no idea what we have there. They've been told by a friend or a doctor or someone just, hey, you should go to Michelle's Place. And so they walk in just unknowing what's happening. And Michelle's vision of Michelle's Place was to be a safe place to just go. And so we have it set up kind of like someone's living room, if you will. So coffee table, couches, the library. And so you could just chill there. If you just need a break and just sit for a second, read some stuff, just have a conversation with a volunteer about what we do there, then that's good too. But we have this amazing team. We call them our patient navigators. They're the rock stars of what we do. They are everything. And they're just active listening to you, right? So after you've taken your tour, you've talked to the volunteers a little bit, we'll hook you up with a navigator. We have 2 Spanish-speaking navigators. Oh, nice. And they'll walk you through, what's your diagnosis? Do you have questions about your physician? Do you know what your next steps are? Here's some questions to ask your doctor about your diagnosis, so that you are your best advocate for yourself. You're not, Google informed. You're actually informed about what's going on.
Human to human.
Yeah. So really just wrapping our arms around them and try to carry them through their journey. So initially just giving them what they need in terms of information. Then they walk away. Maybe they'll have more questions. Call us anytime. Email us. Because a lot of people who are diagnosed, and you might relate to this, are up in the middle of the night just with worry. I mean, it's the quiet time when you can't really talk to anybody, and again, the computer is your only access. Yeah. Send us an email, check out our website, read, watch some testimonials, some videos, some good stories, some hope stories, so things like that. So. Cool. We've been doing that for breast cancer patients for the last basically 17 years.
Now, you made a change institutionally last year. That's
Yeah.
pretty exciting. In fact, I just learned this myself. So,
Yeah.
What was this change that you made at Michelle's place?
It was pretty significant.
Yeah.
We are now serving all cancers, which is just ginormous. And you think this would be something we would take lightly or easily or slowly? Oh no, we flipped a switch.
Wow.
A few years ago, or I guess it's been building for years. Where people would come to us with different cancers. Women would come to us. Maybe you'd come to get a wig. You had ovarian cancer, lung cancer, and again, American Cancer Society sent you to us, and they're like, "Wow, this is cool. You know, what do you have?" And we always were open to anybody who came to us. Whatever we can help you with, you're welcome to utilize. You can go to our groups. You can
You're not
come
turning
to the
anybody
library,
away.
right?
Right.
But we're not going to have as many resources for you as we would for someone who has breast cancer. That's just what we knew, and so we knew eventually this was going to happen. I mean, our client intake grows almost 10% a year.
Wow.
Just with breast cancer. Now we're adding some new cancers, women's mostly cancers, to our client list. And so a couple of years ago, our board changed our vision that no one should face cancer alone. And that was really Michelle's original vision. And knowing full well we were going to head to that place at some point. But we were in this little tiny 3,200 square foot space, jamming employees into every corner. You know, we had an event or a group or some sort of something every day of the week except Sunday. And so we knew there was no way we could serve as more people, no matter who they were, than what we were doing now.
Okay.
So we had some choices. Our lease was ending. We either go rent a bigger space, we start a capital campaign, try to buy a building, or we just do what we're doing today. So those were our choices. Well, our board said, you know, that's silly, so let's move on. So we put our big girl pants on and we said, let's start a capital campaign, buy a building, and serve all cancers.
Wow.
Well, you know, that's the idea. 5 minutes later, you know, I'm telling you, our angels above put things in our path to lead us the way. This is not my journey. This is not my board's journey. This is all on its own. I'm just helping facilitate it. And one of our donors, who's a commercial real estate person, found a really great opportunity for us. We were able to move in, lease the space while we raised the money to buy the building.
Oh, nice.
So we're in the middle of construction. We moved into the space. It's 10,000 square feet.
Wow, that's nice.
Which is, you know, almost 3 times bigger
Yeah.
than what we were doing. But we're living in about 2,300 square feet. But we thought, you know, let's still just open it to all cancers and see what happens. We had no idea. We just had no idea.
So the numbers are pretty staggering.
Yes.
So year over year, when you open the door to other cancers, what are the numbers that you're facing?
So we were typically serving about 1,800 women with breast cancer per year. Last year we served 3,400 people.
Wow.
Because of the all cancers.
Now, any institution doubling that fast
Yes.
would experience crisis.
Right.
So, you know, here you are doubling instantaneously
Yeah.
that infrastructure, both the building and the people and
Yeah.
and your patient advocates. What did you call them?
Navigators.
Navigators. I
Yeah.
love that. That's a lot of people to try to mobilize to help serve and to still serve
Yes.
at the level of quality that you always have.
Right.
So what were some of your biggest challenges?
Well, first, everyone was terrified, right? It's like, what? We're going to do what? We don't know anything about any kind. I mean, you don't realize how many cancers there are, by the way, either. It's
no idea.
staggering.
Yeah.
You can't imagine it. It's just like with breast cancer, for instance. People think of breast cancer, they don't realize there's multiple types of breast cancer. Same with the blood cancer or bone cancer or anything like that. So we were terrified about that part, right? Not being able to provide information on all of these different cancers. But we were very honest about it. Michelle's Place has always been very reactive, essentially, in how we provide service. And what I mean by that is if a client comes to us and says, you know, I'm really struggling with gas prices are high. Most of the treatment centers, hospitals are outside of our region. Many cancer patients drive over 50 miles one way just to get to treatment. So we started a program, a financial assistance program, to help with transportation. So it wasn't this long-term strategic plan of, hey, let's start a transportation assistance program in 5 years. No, the needs today, let's figure out how to meet that need and who are our partners and what can we do to solve that. So that's how we approached this, right? We don't know everything. We never will know everything. I've been doing this 17 years and I still hear new stories about breast cancer that you would think I should have already heard, right?
Yeah.
But there's always new treatments, there's always new techniques, there's always something new happening. And the best we can do is lead them to that information. We don't need to have it, we just need to be able to find it.
That's right.
And we have so many great community partners. I mean, you know this community.
Yeah.
It's stunning. I mean, they're always there for you.
It's closely knit, and
It's-
everybody has
right.
their thing to contribute to the bigger picture of supporting people in
Right,
need. Yeah.
right. And they want to help. right? And so it's just a phone call away. So the navigator is really, we're a resource center. We're not the answers. We're not the treatment. We're not providing recommendations for doctors or places to go. But if we can make that connection for you, or the navigator can say, I don't know the answer to that question. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna get back to you. So that's how we started with how to help everyone. But again, it goes back to the core of our mission, and we're just there to put our arms around them. Yeah. It doesn't matter what kind of cancer you have. They just want someone to talk to. They just want someone to listen to them and understand and be empathetic and say, yeah, I want to help you. I don't know what that looks like right now for you, and I don't think you know what that looks like, but I'm here for you. And so that's really been the core of us helping all cancers. Again, a lot of our resources, even though they were breast, we've been able to connect with the other similar ones, or they've provided us information on those. So it's worked out. It really has just worked out.
Well, congratulations. I appreciate just the boldness of it and the humility that says, we're going to do this. We feel a sense of calling or mission to do this.
Yeah.
We don't know all the answers, so you have that humility to say, we're just here to love people and care for people, and that's what matters more than anything.
Right.
So we're in the middle of a pandemic, if you haven't heard.
Yeah, so we threw that in after we expanded into all cancers. Let's just have a pandemic too. Right. Cool. Because last year wasn't hard enough. Let's just throw this in.
Well, you got to love it, right? But for people who are battling cancer, to put a pandemic on top of that, we kind of call that a compounding crisis. So you have this kind of crisis, it's bad enough. Then you compound it, sort of exponentially increases some of the stresses or anxieties. How are you seeing this pandemic impact the people that you're serving?
Right. So, like most things, it's changing all the time. Initially, immediate fear, right? We had to close the center because all of our clients are already immune compromised. We don't want to expose them to anything more. So that happened immediately. They're lonely. They're completely isolating themselves, as they should be, just for, to be safe. So sometimes you call and they just really want to talk to somebody. They're so grateful that someone called to check on them, which is huge. The other part, the scarier part, is that a lot of doctor's appointments are being canceled, surgeries are being postponed, treatment isn't available or limited. They also can't take anyone with them to treatment, so they're alone. So they either have to get there themselves, or their person has to wait for them somewhere outside because they're only allowing the patient in the center. So those are the things we're hearing the most. They're scared, and then their caregivers have lost their jobs, and so the financial component is very scary. That's one of the things we're doing during the pandemic is grocery shopping and delivering groceries to those that need it, and that's a huge need for our clients right now. And essentials, food and essentials, like a lot of people.
I would imagine that because you've been somewhat flexible over the course of the last couple of years in particular.
Right.
That flexibility is probably coming in handy right now as you're saying, okay, what's the need right now in front of me?
Yep.
What's the person on the other end of that line? What do they need? Let's figure out how to do it, right?
Yes, and that's the favorite thing about my team. I absolutely love that they're constantly ready to pivot, and it's not, oh no, that's it. What are we going to do? It's what are we going to do? How do we do it? And and then not only it doesn't take us weeks to come up with a plan. It takes hours to come up with a plan, and they're so open to that, and they're excited about it. When they can do that.
Well, to have a team like that means everything. If people around you are saying, no, we can't do it because we've never done it this way, or we're not equipped, or whatever, to have a team that says, let's find the yes. Let's find the best way to get to the yes. That's so cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And just doing the deliveries, it's scary for some too. I have some of my staff are in that scary, 60-year-old age, and they aren't going to come outside. So they're not going to do the shopping and delivery of groceries, but they're making the calls and they're setting it up, and then the rest of us are shopping and delivering, which is cool. So the need is definitely there for that too.
So during this pandemic, we're all finding solutions, the best way to say yes and to start something new that's really having an impact. And you had mentioned, and we're certainly experiencing this as well, that during the pandemic, there's people at home, they're wanting to watch good, helpful content, they're wanting to have that sense of connection, and it's all online right now. What about Michelle's Place that's new because of the pandemic is going to continue beyond the pandemic?
Yeah, our support groups. All of our support groups are virtual now. And I was telling you this a little bit earlier. It's stunning. We have more people attending the support groups now online than we're attending in person.
Right.
And it makes absolute sense, right? And it's always something we kind of had on our list of things to do is let's, be able to somehow stream our support groups. Well, now you're forced to do it. We did it immediately, and it's been so well received that, we'll certainly do this even when we can all come back together because it's just safer for them. A cancer patient doesn't feel good, and she doesn't want to drive at night. Maybe the group's at night that she wants to go to, or the class or the event. And this is giving her that opportunity to still engage with other people, communicate with them from the comfort of hers or his home. So we'll definitely continue doing that moving forward.
That's great. And you may have already found that influence can go beyond Temecula-Marietta Valley.
Anywhere.
Right? Nationally, internationally. And
Yeah,
it's kind of fun just to see how technology
It's
can
pretty
connect
cool.
people in a very real, powerful, meaningful way all over the world.
Yes, I love it.
So let's talk about the importance of someone's faith journey as they're dealing with this diagnosis. What does it mean to them to have that kind of vibrant relationship with God?
Yeah, I don't talk to clients as much, especially right now, but just hearing it from our patient navigators, it's important, right? It's something that they need. I would equal it almost to the support we're giving them. They get the support of our navigators and just talking about resources available, knowing that we're there for them, but then being able to have that faith as well, and knowing that they have that I think it's a comfort probably for them, and knowing that they have access to, again, the virtual online services, I think is huge for them.
Well, it's got that holistic approach, right? You've got that faith component
Yeah.
is very important in terms of kind of that deeper sense of meaning, and that there is a God who loves me and He's with me.
Yeah.
Certainly in our neck of the woods here, we believe that Jesus is the full expression of God. And what did Jesus do with a lot of His time, if not most of His time? He cared for the sick.
Right.
And so what you are doing, what Michelle's Place is doing, is you are continuing, the way we put it, advancing the cause of Christ.
Right.
You are being as loving and as kind and as present as Jesus was 2,000 years ago when He was here caring for the sick.
Yeah.
And I just can't tell you how excited we are to have you a part of our community and leading for so many years with people who are struggling and receiving hope through Michelle's Place. So how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so that is what we really want people to know, is that we're still there. So even if you call our main line, which is 699-5455, it goes straight to one of our patient navigators. So it's ringing at her house, and she's there to pick it up. And you can reach any one of our navigators through that main number. So you can call us, you go to our website. We have all kinds of information on there about what's happening during this pandemic and how we can help you. info@michellesplace.org is our general email, and that, again, we can get that to whomever needs it to get you what you need. We have a virtual 5K Walk of Hope we're working on. We had to, obviously all of our events, as you are experiencing too, have been canceled. And why bother trying to it's why? We don't know what that looks like. So we decided, let's do a virtual 5K Walk of Hope and make our walk something everyone can be a part of, even at home, because I don't know about you, maybe your family, you guys are out a lot more together walking, just trying to find ways to get out or do something. And that's the other thing, is people really want to do something, they're just not sure what to do. So this is a great way to do that. Starting the week of May 11th, we're encouraging everybody to just walk together, take pictures, and post them on our Facebook page, just to show everybody coming together. It's $25 to participate, and just we want to see you and your family walking, or your dogs, or even if it's just laps around your kitchen island. Be creative. I don't know, whatever that looks like for you. So that's one way to get involved as well.
Sounds like fun. It's a creative way to do something good, and to show that there's still a community that cares. We're in our homes, more than I think we'd like to be, but we do care, and this is a good way to make an impact.
Yeah, and something fun, different, bring everybody together. So.
Well, Kim, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a great pleasure to see you in person. I've certainly heard a lot about you, and I think we crossed paths here and there, but great spending this time with you and hearing about Michelle's Place.
Thank you.
It's so good to be able to connect with so many of you throughout the week. As we close today, I want to remind you of just a couple things. I hope you'll join us this coming Sunday for Church Online. All of our campuses, Temecula, Marietta, and Español, have live streaming services. Just visit rancho.tv for more info. Also, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, Rancho United, so you don't miss anything from us. And we hope to see you again next time.